Hi, my friend. How are you this Tuesday, which is the 1st of December? Yay! If you did not download your calendar, I'm Pat Sloan, and you are here for my daily videos every day except for Sunday. I take Sundays off. And then on Mondays, we do it in the evening. So yesterday was the evening one, which is a little bit longer this time because I was very chatty. And there's a goodie bag I'm giving away, so I will link you here so you can get over there again if you didn't see it to enter, because you have to watch that to know what to do. It's the way it works. Okay, so our topic for today to start off November is called Count It Out. And what is that? Advent calendars. Yes, I love advent calendars. I can't tell you how much I love them. When we first went to live in Germany, I was in 5th grade, and we did not expect to be there very long. My father didn't expect to be there more than like maybe 9 months or something, 18 months maybe. And he ended up living there 15 years in Europe, Germany, and then Belgium. And my mom, was really good about being sure that we got to do all the things, even after the years stretched on. And I was there 7 years, something like that. My youngest brother was born there. So it's spent a lot of years there. But the Advent calendars were special. And because we were there in the beginning, such a short period of time, my mom and dad got really immersed into what are the things that we are new to us, and so Advent calendars were one of them. And ever since, I have loved them. The concept. Now, I don't have one every year, but the concept of open the little doors and everything. Well, a few years back, my friend Cindy, that does my quilting at the spa, she sent me a digital Advent calendar. And I love it. So like we both go on and we do. There's all different things in there. It's that Jackie Lawson. She does the Advent calendar, and it is just the most fun thing that we share together as friends. We both open them up and see what's going, see what you get. We do the little animation things like you decorate your tree and different stuff in there, and it's just so much fun. So Advent calendars, tell me about them. Are they part of your tradition? Are they part of your hygge, your coziness? Is that something that makes you happy, an Advent calendar? Have you done them in the past but you aren't doing them now? Just tell me a little bit about what you do with the Advent calendar and how you experience it. So I really want to get a physical one again. I haven't had one for a little while where I open the little doors. Hey, just give me chocolate. I'm happy, right? Chocolate a day. Okay, I am expanding today on the jelly roll tactics. How to approach this jelly roll sew along. So I have made a second block. Ta-da! I'm using my Morrison Park jelly roll. And so there are a few things. There's the jelly roll from Morrison Park. They do theirs flat, so that's just, they call them 5-inch strip sets, something like that. You'll see that a lot with different companies, have slightly different name. They're just the same thing. So mine, I love it with the blue. The blue. Okay, so I figured there's a few things. Now, Kimberly Jolly, the Fat Quarter Shop, did a video on this and the other railway that I suggested you might like to do. And so they are linked on the project page for the jelly roll sew along. But I thought, I'm not going to recreate what she did. There's no use. But I will show you some things that occur to me as I'm making it, some things that make it easier, some warnings about what you might be thinking you might want to do and what the result of that action might be. That's why it's called jelly roll tactics. Okay, so first, when you have your jelly roll, this quilt has 35 blocks. There is one jelly roll used plus the alternating fabric. In this case, I have the stripe will be in all of my blocks. So there's 2 of my blocks with the stripe. I'll make them go the same way. There they are. So this is one jelly roll strip and one jelly roll strip of the pattern fabric, and then the background, or whatever you want to call it, the alternating fabric. is the other one where you're going to cut more strips of that. So first on the alternating fabric, don't cut them all because I don't think you're going to need all of them. One of our friends, I think, said that she didn't use all of them, but she was also very frugal. So you don't, it tells you how many to cut. You can just cut a few less than that, or just cut a few and then cut some more later. The other thing is getting this into the right, color assortment, because there's 35, and I already have made 2 out of my stash before I opened this. So that means 33. So do the math. 33 pieces that I need. So here it is, opened up, and I would go through here and take out, of course I would, my fabric line doesn't have 42 different fabrics in it, so therefore you have a lot of duplicates in a lot of different fabric lines, because the jelly rolls all have 42 strips. So you'll see I have 2 blue ones, so I would take these blue ones out. I could decide to not use any green. I could, so that would be 2, 4, 6, 8. So that would be 8 strips that came out from the 42, which, I don't know now where I am on the numbers, but you can decide, I definitely have to take these out because they'll be too light. Or I could take out, that you can't do stripe against stripe. So I could also take out the white, that block would be, it's okay. I could take out some of the lighter pattern backgrounds if I wanted to, but I could also just say, oh, this quilt isn't going to have any green in it, so I could take out all the green. So you want to do that. Figure out if you have to remove strips, figure out which ones you're going to remove and take them out of the mix, so that you're not always in here, trying to remember what your plan was. Take them out and put them in your scrap system. Cut them into 2.5-inch squares if you want. Just leave them as strips if you want. If you're going to make like a scrappy jelly roll sometime with all those extra strips, just push them off to the side. Okay, so the other thing is with the alternating fabric. I won't call it background. I'll call it the alternating fabric. The other fabric. What does she call it on here? They call it. Well, they tell you could buy another a solid jelly roll to do this with. They call it the background. Yeah, so they call it the background fabric. You could cut up all your strips for that. Cut a set of them to work with, so that as you're going along, you could sew things and you could, have all this together. So that would be one thing, is cut all of these up into the exact sizes that you need. And there's only 3 sizes, just these 3. Now, the block itself has, out of this strip, out of this print strip, I cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strips. And when I cut all those strips out, and I did cut for this block to the exact size, I only had this piece left. That's it. This is not very much. So you want to be sure that you're not doing a lot of extra trimming off of things. If you cut in advance, this will be all that you have left. The other way some people might work this, and I'm going to show you with a green strip here, is you might cut, like a 2.5-inch square, and now you have the rest of this green strip, right? So that's the rest of the jelly roll. So you might be tempted to go and, let's just put it on top so you can see it better. So you might be tempted, I'm just going to sew it on top of here, and then I'll trim both sides, Well, remember, this is all you have to mess around with on that strip. This is all the extra that there is. So if you're doing this method where you're like, okay, I don't want to pre-cut them, I'm just going to lay it on top and trim away, you could easily, having 8 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, having 6 of these, you could easily start using up this, and particularly if you're not super frugal, like if you had laid it out here, well, now you'd have to cut off this amount, and that's a lot, and it would eat this up. See, that's a lot. That's already here. And if you did that 6 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would be really stretching it. So that amount there is like a 1/2 inch. a little bit more than 1/2 of an inch. So let me just get you closer here. So if you want to do this method where you don't pre-cut the strip, that you just take each unit as you need to add it and lay it on top, then I recommend that you be absolutely super frugal, because all you have is this little piece of extra to do the trimming away, and you don't want to be caught on that very long last strip without having enough fabric. So there's a little warning, which I wanted to be sure that because I think a lot of people work like that, you might cut the background or the alternate fabric, but for the jelly roll you're just going to sort of lay them, and you could actually get really efficient and do that with if, let's say, you know, you're trying to do a whole bunch at a time, you know, you could be chain doing this along the way, and if that's happening, you could accidentally get that bit that you're trimming away wider and wider as you go along, because you're just sort of not really focused in on it. So if you do that, be really, really careful, because this is all you have to play around with. Now, the last thing I wanted to tell you is that Heather from To the Point Quilting, get her company name right, To the Point Quilting in Oregon, that collected all the quilts for the fire victims in her community. When she put the call out, and then I put the call out to you, and then she had lots of people doing that, they ended up collecting 2,581 quilts. Wow, you guys rock. I mean, most of those were finished quilts. She did have 900 tops, because they offered to accept tops. She has a whole troop of long armors there in Oregon, and probably a few other places, that were taking the tops and finishing them. Then not just that community had to help, another community had to address those 900 quilts plus all 2,581 to put labels on them. They needed binding done on the 900. They got 500 of the 900 finished of the tops, so they still have 400 tops that they will be working on through December to be given away. But the main giveaway to her community will be this week. I don't know which day it is, but it's one day this week. She told me on Saturday. It was in 6 days. So what does that make it? Like Wednesday or Thursday, maybe, something like that. And they have to do metering in the people, so that not only her volunteers who helped, there's like 3 of them can be there each time, and then they can have a group of guests that they're presenting quilts to and giving quilts to. So if you want to watch, I put a link down below to her Facebook page, To the Point Quilting, so you can go there, because she will definitely be she's been posting tons and tons of photos. You can go back and look at what she's posted. You can follow along when they do the deliveries, which will be just so amazing. They have worked incredibly hard. They have done so much for their community and for quilting, and to bring quilting out into everybody's lives to be a focus. It's just she's an awesome person. So anyways, go over there and tell her thumbs up for Heather and her troops of makers who have done this incredible thing for the fire victims. All right. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful to give you my thoughts on how I would do these blocks. And if you need to see Kimberly's video on making it, the link is down below, which goes to my project page for the Jelly Roll Quilt Along. And I'm excited. I'm going to do at least one a day. I'm probably going to do a couple more, and then maybe I won't do some days. Anyways, I love you. Mwah. See you online.